Hello.
Welcome to Crypto Warehouse News. Today
My
is
phone wasn't on.
Saturday.
Yeah.
I'm with Brogan,
Hello.
and this week we're going to go through a few financial related crypto bits and pieces.
Yeah.
We've got some NFT news. We've got the word on the bird, the usual things that we have on our stream.
Yeah. Exactly.
Being an interesting week so far. Unfortunately, we've lost our monarch and our queen.
Yep. R.I.P.
R.I.P. indeed. I think the strangest thing I've been called this week by somebody on Twitter was tube head. So I don't know whether that's relating to the size of my head or the shape of my head, or whether they just want to call me tube head.
I know where they're coming from. I know where they're...
So yeah, I mean, if you want to kick us off and have a little look at the Bitcoin charts.
Sure. So let's go to CoinMarketCap here. So if we go to Bitcoin, it's actually gone up since last time we looked at it on Wednesday. I think it was.
Yeah.
Let's wait for this page to load. So, okay, let me scroll down. All right, here we go. So it was, I'll just go to 7 days for a bit more of a range. You can see how it's come from. Yeah, so last time we looked at it, it was about $18,600 to $19,000. And now the price is $21,300.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's, I don't know, would you say it's not, I don't say it's crabbing, but it's definitely moved from where it was. It was at a line between like 19,000, 18,000, and now it's, it's broken up a bit to 21,000 at least. But
yeah, I think if you zoom out, and if you remember, I mean, if you go to the 7 day chart, or maybe not the 7 day, maybe go to the 1 month chart.
Yep.
I think we were at 21.5 for a while. I think we were at 24 for a while.
Yeah. Near the start, when was this? It was like, this is 12. I don't know what time frame this is, but we were at like $23,000, $24,000. I assume this is like,
exactly.
Oh, here it is, 8/15. Yeah, so 15th of August, I think that was.
Yeah, and then if you move along a little bit, you'll see.
Yeah.
Where we are now.
Yeah. So
if you just move to here.
Yeah. So it was like $21,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we hovered between like 24 and then like 23, and then it went down. We hovered between 21. But now we've gone back up a bit. So we've gone to a similar price to where we were the 22nd of August, that time frame.
Yeah. So all we're doing is we're bouncing around between different resistance levels and different support levels. That's all we've really done.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's good news that we haven't crashed through, because I think on Wednesday we said that, if there was another capitulation, then we could be looking at 17, 18,000, which didn't happen. So this is good news, but we're now back at another level of resistance, which is 21.5, 21.6, around that point.
Yep.
We could go a lot higher. We could stay here for a week and come crashing down, but over the next 3 or 4 months, I don't think it matters. No. Until we get to the end of the year, I don't think this matters.
Yeah, Christmas time, definitely. We'll see some sort of action happening with Bitcoin.
So,
yep.
If we move down now to word on the bird,
yes,
which is our tweet of the day.
Tweets. We have 2 tweets today to look at. The first one we have now is a little bit of a crypto meme, which is pretty funny. Yep. So it's the crypto memes. So altcoins waiting to see what Bitcoin will do next, which is pretty funny.
Now the reason I've found this one is very simple. Bitcoin is the gold standard for crypto.
Yeah.
And it's roughly between 38 and 48% of the total crypto market.
Yeah.
So whatever Bitcoin does in the short term, altcoins will follow. And at the minute, we've got Bitcoin bouncing around between 18,000 and 24,000, and altcoins, which is everything below Bitcoin, they're all bouncing around. Some are having pumps, some are having dumps.
Yep.
Luna was up 197% yesterday.
Yes. Big news.
Yeah.
Do you know why that was, or is it just...
A couple of things happened with Luna. I think Binance, who have a very big bag of Luna, they've moved it, and potentially they might start allowing people to stake it.
Nice.
Exchanges are accepting Luna Classic and normal Luna now, and both communities are working hard to try and get the respect back from what happened with the crash in May. Exactly. Yeah. So I wish them all the best, and I hope they get us back to where they were. So
for everyone's sake.
For everyone's sake, exactly. So I think the most important thing here is, obviously this isn't financial advice. Nothing we say is financial advice. No. But I think the most important thing is to realise that Bitcoin should be a very large position in your portfolio.
Yeah. Was it 60-40? 60%, 40% rule?
Yeah.
So it was like, was it? I don't know if it was top 5 or it was just like Bitcoin and Ethereum. It should be 60% of your portfolio. Obviously not financial advice or anything.
Exactly.
But then 40% should be things below that. Obviously within top 20, maybe top 20, 10
exactly.
coins.
So
not go too risky.
What we'll look at later is the portfolio that we put together a few months ago. And we can look at, I think in that portfolio it's 60-40 Bitcoin and Ethereum and then the alts. So the next one.
Yeah. It's big news.
This is huge news. We made a video a couple of weeks ago about Michael Saylor stepping down as the CEO of Microstrategy. Yeah. And at the time, I think I said that this was a good thing because basically Microstrategy is 2 companies.
Yeah.
It's a Bitcoin treasury, so it holds 127,000 Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But also it's a software business, and they're 2 separate businesses.
Yeah.
And he was the CEO of both. So the reason he stepped down, I think, or I thought at the time, was to spend more time focusing on Bitcoin, not to become an evangelist or to become the face of Bitcoin, but to concentrate on that side of his business, which comes first, and his shareholders comes first.
Yeah.
So this announcement's come out of the blue because I wasn't expecting them to buy another $500 million worth of Bitcoin, or 400 million or 300 million. I mean, it's a big chunk of Bitcoin at the minute. It's going to be another 1,000 Bitcoin, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's $500 million. So it says some of the proceeds. So they're raising $500 million, and some of that is going to buy Bitcoin. So we don't know how much, unless we do, and this doesn't say. But they're going to use some of this $500 million to buy some more Bitcoin. So I don't know how much Bitcoin it would be.
Could be 1,000, 2,000, something like that. I mean, that's a lot of Bitcoin.
Yeah. And
that gets them closer to 130,000 Bitcoin, which is, I think, 5% of the total supply of Bitcoin would be 1.2 million. So if they've got 130,000, they've got 0.01% of all the Bitcoin, or 0.1%, should I say, of all the Bitcoin that's ever going to be produced. So it's a huge chunk of Bitcoin which they're going to hold. And it's digital gold to them, it's digital property to them, and it's something that's going to make, hopefully, huge return to them in the future. So I think this is a good thing.
Yeah.
Now, the next one, which is one of the articles that you've dug out, is to do with a partnership between Ftx and GameStop.
Yes. Okay, here it is. There we go. Let me just scroll to the top here. Yep. So, crypto exchange Ftx, and that's his partnership with GameStop. So, as always, I'm just going to read out some of the points.
Yep.
Then we can talk about it. So the partners will cooperate to gain the interest of GameStop clients for cryptocurrencies and onboard them into the Ftx ecosystem. According to the press release, the partnership is intended to introduce more GameStop customers to FTX community and its marketplace of digital assets. In addition to collaborating with FTX on new e-commerce and online marketing initiatives, GameStop will begin carrying FTX gift cards in selected stores. That's pretty cool. FTX has been leading the initiative by entering into deals and bailing out crypto companies in financial hurdles. Per a report from Bloomberg, Sam Bankman-Fried, CEO at FTX, believes the result from these efforts has been mixed. The executive said, "I think some are going to turn out to be profitable, some won't be. We had to make snap judgment calls." So that was it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't immediately see the financial benefit to GameStop of this deal.
I don't exactly know where the link is, really, because GameStop is, it's a GameStop, isn't it?
Yeah, they've been trying ever since the Wall Street bets situation. I don't know if you remember that last year, where they were buying.
That was crazy.
The stock, it went skyrocketed,
and then it
etc.
went all the way back down. A lot of people lost a lot of money.
They
Unfortunately, it was poor, education on it.
Yeah.
They thought, oh, it's going up this much, buy it, and then obviously it's gone back down because
everybody FOMO'd in.
Exactly.
The people that got in at the beginning through the Reddit channel made a fortune, and the people that came in at the end, they were left holding the bags.
Yep.
It's always the case. As I say, I still don't see the benefit to GameStop other than maybe commission made on the vouchers.
Yeah, the gift cards, yeah.
But again, that's small fry. Whereas GameStop recommending people to FTX, again, there could be a commission deal there where FTX pay them a commission for every that's been referred. Longer term, this is a great deal for FTX.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's the type of audience which has GameStop. So GameStop, obviously it's a game shop. So it's people who, play games, buy games, probably on a regular basis. So it's probably people who adopt, technology into their life, who play games quite often.
Yeah.
So it's probably an audience which most likely will invest into cryptocurrencies. So, if FTX sponsor these people or partner with GameStop, it's probably, I would think it's due to the fact that the audience of GameStop and this game company, this audience will probably most likely use their platform.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose another way to look at it is they're obviously an American-based company. Yeah. Robinhood, I believe, is one of the biggest kind of gamer apps that people have been using to buy stocks. Because it was at one point it was free trading on Robinhood, so you could buy and sell your stocks for free. They then moved into cryptocurrency. This could be a move by FTX to try and get some of that audience from Robinhood via GameStop.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a possibility. We don't know. But I think, like we've talked before about FTX, they've been in talks with BlackRock for funding. They've invested in, I think it's Voyager, BlockFi. They've bought a 30% share in another company that came out yesterday or the day before. Yeah. So, I mean, this is the bear market is the perfect market to be doing these kinds of transactions. Yeah. And I think he's a clever bloke. So I think it's a good move.
Yeah.
Next, we have the Binance news.
Yeah. Let's go to that. So Binance to drop. Am I on the right page? Yes, I am. Binance to drop USDC trading pairs. Plans to also convert specific stablecoin balances to BUSD. So Binance issued a notice on Monday explaining that the exchange will be removing the stablecoin USDC from the platform's spot trading pairs list. Binance further details that users holding 3 types of stablecoins will see their balances also converted to BUSD. Binance explained that it plans to also convert certain stablecoin balances if the funds are not removed by September 29th, 2022. In order to enhance liquidity and capital efficiency of users, Binance is introducing BUSD, also conversion for users, existing balances and new deposits of USDC.
Yeah.
Some individuals on social media criticized the move, while others applauded the decision. In addition to being the largest crypto exchange by trade volume, Binance is the issuer of the third largest stablecoin, BUSD. Okay. Yeah.
So the first thing to say is the stablecoin is basically a digital dollar that's backed by a real life dollar.
Yeah, exactly. So one-to-one.
One-to-one, exactly. Yeah. And I think at the minute the market's very young. So what you have is you have lots of different stable coins. You have USDC, you have USDT, you had UST, you've got TUSD, you've got
ridiculous.
BUSD, and the problem on all of these exchanges is that you have multiple pairs. So a pair, for example, is BUSD and Bitcoin, but then you'll have USDT and Bitcoin. So you have a kind of multiplication and a wastage going on.
Yeah. And it's also their coin. I mean, I'm not saying, I don't know if there's any much benefit of them using BUSD, but obviously it's their USD stablecoin, which they've made. So obviously they're going to be using their own coin. But yeah, I mean, I think it makes sense, doing this.
It does. I mean, in terms of liquidity.
Yeah.
So let's say that Binance has, at any one point, $20 billion worth of liquidity on its USD bag of coins
Yeah.
and Bitcoin and Ethereum, etc. That's all fragmented between 4 different USD coins, BTC, Ethereum, whatever else it might be, Polygon, XRP, etc. So what they're trying to do is increase the liquidity pools for it.
Yeah.
So it's one Bitcoin, one for Ethereum, and by using BUSD, obviously, like you've just said, it's their own coin. They want to promote their own coin.
Yeah.
But for example, Circle, who own USDC, they fully backed the move because this USDC isn't being destroyed. It still exists. It's just that when you're on the Binance platform, you use BUSD.
Yeah.
So it makes perfect sense. I think there's other platforms as well that do something similar. I think FTX have got something similar as well, where they convert to USD as well. So they've not set the precedent.
Yeah.
And liquidity is the most important thing because
extremely.
Once you've got
especially in these pools.
Exactly. And about 2 months ago, Binance actually introduced fee-free trading for coins such as Bitcoin. So there's no transaction fees to pay.
Yeah.
I think Crypto.com followed suit about a week or two ago, whereas if you stake a certain amount of Crow, you also don't pay any transaction fees on their exchange. Exactly. So it's even though we're in a bear market, it's still competitive.
Yeah.
And when we're talking about 0.25% or 0.1% of a transaction fee, that might not be a lot to somebody who's trading with $100 or $200. But you have these whales that trade in millions and 10 millions worth of longs and short positions and whatever else it might be. That adds up over the course of a month because that's on every transaction.
Yeah.
So for Binance to do this, the volume of Binance is already the largest, but you've got FTX came from nowhere. Last year they were trading nowhere, and this year they're trading in the billions. So Binance are just trying to stay one step ahead of the game, and having the biggest liquidity pool in the market will help traders, and it will also help the price as well.
Yeah.
So I think this is a good thing.
Yeah, extremely. So do I.
Now the next one, I don't believe this
Yes. Okay. So,
is going to be a good thing.
the U.S. Treasury to recommend issuing digital dollar if in national interest. The Treasury Department, in what may be its most important recommendation, spurred by President Joe Biden's executive order on crypto, will suggest how to move forward on a CBDC. The US Treasury Department will advise the federal government to press forward on work to issue a digital dollar, for it should only take the final step if there's sign-off that the government-created tokens are in the national interest. This national interest decision is made murkier by the question of whether US legislators need to pass a law to authorize the Federal Reserve to create a central bank digital currency, which is a CBDC. The final decision on issuing a CBDC belongs with Fed Board and Chair Jerome Powell, along with other senior Fed officials, has repeatedly stated the central bank won't move without support from the administration of Congress. While the Future of Money report won't explicitly provide an administration endorsement for the digital dollar, it will suggest potential ideas for how it could be designed. It could take as much as 5 years to design and launch one, according to Fed Vice Chair Lael Brainard. These names. Always, every article I read, these dodgy names. CBDCs have also been praised as a possible solution for widening financial access to consumers who don't or can't use banks. Unlike private digital assets, a CBDC issued by the Federal Reserve would be backed by a full faith and credit of the US government, like the dollar bills in our wallet. Yeah, so that's all the information. Quite a lot there.
There is, and there's two parts to this. There's the financial side, and then there's the privacy and security side. And whenever a government says in the national interest, what it's actually saying is in the interests of the government.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to put a tinfoil hat on. I know Julian, if Julian was here, he'd be, making the point that we're not conspiracy theorists.
Yeah.
But America and the UK, they left the gold standard in the national interests. And all that's done is devalue the currency in your pocket.
Yep.
It's allowed them to print themselves out of COVID and into a recession.
Yep.
And there's no long-term benefit to the man in the street of this.
No. So are they just basic? So I don't know. So obviously, it's not really a crypto, but are they just making their own stable coin? But
Yes.
it's just centralized. With the treasury, like the bank, it's just centralized.
Yeah. The rumors going around have been that USDC, which we've talked about a second ago on Binance, USDC was going to become the stable coin of the American government. That's the rumor.
They didn't have control over it, did they? So
exactly.
Yeah.
Now, I did an article in September last year about why CBDCs are a bad thing. And my issue is that it gives central governments control over the money in your pocket.
Yep.
At the minute, you can have a £50 note or a £20 note in your pocket. You can go into a shop and you can buy your goods. When it becomes a CBDC, that money in your pocket can be immediately frozen by central government. Now, that might sound like, 1984 conspiracy theorists, but if you look at what happened in Canada during the COVID riots and COVID protests, the Canadian government froze the bank accounts of all the truck companies that were involved in that trucking convoy. And they did that because they could.
Yeah.
But they couldn't freeze the money in the pockets of the truckers, and they couldn't freeze the money of the people who contributed to support the truckers. And if you bring in a CBDC, every government that has a bank, obviously they're going to need a bank, Federal Reserve in America, Bank of England in the UK. They will have complete control over that currency.
Yeah.
So when they get introduced, it's not if, it's when, because I believe something like 95% of currency at the minute is digital anyway. There's only 5% of circulating currency.
It's physical.
It's physical, exactly. Now, the other question that was posed was that obviously the Queen Mother died.
Yeah.
Now we have to change all the banknotes. Had she died in 5 or 6 years' time, when we had our own stable coin in the UK, would they have just taken all of the currency out of circulation and said, right, we're switching to digital currency? Probably, I would say so. And it's a very dangerous road to go down unless things are put in place to protect the individual. Some countries are going to abuse this.
Yeah.
Maybe
if they could freeze everything,
exactly,
monetary you own.
Exactly, because it can be used for political gain. So, for example, they raided Donald Trump's house because he had something to do with nuclear armaments or whatever else it might be. But had there been CBDCs in America, they could have frozen his bank accounts. Or in Russia, Putin could freeze the bank accounts of every member of the opposition. So it's a very dangerous road to go down, this CBDC. And when they use the word national interests, that's even more of an alarm than most people give it credit for. They're not protecting you, they're controlling you even more.
Anything, well, I don't know, obviously not everything, but when something is digitalized and it's centralized, it can be controlled. So like whenever you make something like digitalized, it's just another step towards like monitoring and therefore having the ability to control people. So the more digitized we get in terms of like finances and things like that, it's just going to be the harder it is to not be controlled by governments and things like that.
Exactly. So, I mean, this is coming. It's going to happen in the next 5 or 10 years. And, the £5 note, they're talking about bringing that out of circulation. Oh, wow. So once that happens, then you've got the 10 and 20 and £50 notes. It's not a quantum leap to get to the So I think it's a terrible thing. But that's not what we can do about it. Right. No. The next one here. So you mentioned last weekend that you wanted to review the £10,000 portfolio. So for anyone listening and watching, we created a portfolio for a scenario where we had £10,000 to invest into cryptocurrencies. Yeah. This isn't financial advice. This
Obviously.
is for entertainment purposes. Need to say that at the beginning of this. And this is what we would do if we had £10,000 to invest in the crypto markets.
Yep.
We've gone for the usual suspects.
Yep.
Haven't we? We've got Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Obviously, the 40% rule. Obviously.
Yeah, exactly. And we have Cardano, which is another layer 1.
Yep.
We have Polygon, which is a layer 2.
Yep.
A layer 2 is a cryptocurrency
Built on top of another blockchain,
which is built on top of Ethereum.
Yeah.
So the reason we picked Polygon is because of the merge.
Yep.
The same way we picked Ethereum. And Solana is another layer 1,
yep.
which is quite new. And we are up, 16? What are we up? I can't quite work it out. 16%? We started at 10,000.
Oh, yeah. On the total balance, yeah, we're up. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, no, we're not up because that's in dollars. We're up $212, $213. We're up 2%, which isn't bad considering the almighty crash we've had. I still don't think this is a bad breakdown. And if I was getting into it now, I think I would DCA in using the same layout. Same structure. The only difference being maybe instead of holding back 10% in stable coins, USDC, I'd probably hold back 20 just to see what happens with the merge. Because we've already, I think, what did we put? 30% into Ethereum, 30% into Bitcoin, didn't we?
Yeah, it's holdings. Yeah, so we have 30% Bitcoin, 30% Ethereum.
Yeah. So I would have held back slightly more in the USDC and then wait for the merge to happen, which I think's next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, something like that. When that happens, it's either going to dump, or it's going to go through the roof. If it dumps, I would then look at buying more Ethereum and DCA in, dollar cost average in. So buy every day or every week or whatever it might be that you want to do, and buy in to bring your holdings up, because I can see it having a huge effect. The problem is you'll listen to these influencers and vloggers and YouTubers who predict the future. Nobody knows what's going to happen. We can only go off past events, which is when there's when there's a halving in Bitcoin, we have a bull run. The next bull run, the next halving is going to be sometime at the beginning of 2024. We're at the end, potentially, of the bear market now. Hopefully, so between now and then, the price should slightly accumulate. So don't rush in and FOMO in and put all of your money into Ethereum and Bitcoin, because there might be better opportunities between now and the end of the year. That's why I need to DCA in. But at least we're in profit.
Well, I mean, for 24 hour, we're in profit. Well, in total balance, but total profit loss, $539.
Okay.
But I mean, I think the main culprits, the Bitcoin, because it says $295, so that's gone down. So it's basically Bitcoin, Solana. I know Solana fell quite a bit.
Yeah, I think it hit $31 at one point.
I can't remember exactly when it was, but that wasn't too nice, to be honest. But it's not a bad portfolio.
No.
So far.
And like I say, we can look back at this every 3 or 4 weeks and see where we are. And if something if something major happens with the merge and the price does skyrocket, then we'll make another video or we'll put it into one of these live streams and we'll tell people what we've done with that. Now, the next point on here is the NFT news. About the winners of the Ballon d'Or.
Okay, so Ballon d'Or, a football award to offer NFTs to winners. So the winner of this year's Ballon d'Or, the top award for individual footballers, will receive digital tokens to go with their gleaming trophies. The organisers told AFP on Thursday. Equip is seeking to move into the crypto sector.
It's a French...
Equip?
L'Equipe is a French magazine, French newspaper.
Well, that is seeking to move into crypto sector, offering a range of digital tokens, NFTs, free for the winners, but with hundreds more being sold to the public. That's basically information. So these winners are basically being given NFTs. Interesting.
It is. I think it's any news for NFTs in the crypto market like this is always going to be good news because it's going to spread adoption.
Exactly.
And if you look at an NFT project, so let's take for example Astrals. So Astrals is a Solana NFT project. It has the backing, and I think the founder of it was actually Shaquille O'Neal.
Yes.
And what they do is they will have 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 NFTs which are sold to individuals, and they'll sell them to them for a sol or 2 sol or whatever else it might be. But to get the word out, they have what are called one-of-ones. So they're unique NFTs, which, for example, they made one for Snoop Dogg. So there's a Snoop Dogg Astrals, which actually has a slight, I think it has a slight resemblance to Snoop Dogg. If I can't remember exactly, so don't get me wrong. Try and find it, exactly. Now, what Liquip have done here is they've offered utility with these NFTs, so you can win a chance to actually attend the event. But for the winner, so I take it there'll be the male Ballon d'Or, the female Ballon d'Or, I don't know, goal of the season, goalkeeper, whatever else it might be. They will have their unique one-of-one NFTs, which will of course come with its own value. They think Benzema is likely to win the Ballon d'Or this year for the men. He's already launched his own NFT project, so he will be fairly well aware of what NFTs are. But as we said on Wednesday, 99% of these NFTs that are launched are just going to go to zero. Or maybe not zero, but they'll go to a fraction of what they cost.
Why? What is the? I mean, is it just an NFT? Just like, why are they giving NFT? Like, what's the reason for using an NFT with this and giving the trophy? Like,
I would imagine publicity.
Yeah.
So I don't know who has created the NFTs, but I doubt it will be Liquip. So there'll be a third party associated with them, and they have probably created this NFT for the Ballon d'Or winners. Therefore, they will be able to use this as an example of who they are and what they do and things like that. And I don't see any utility for the winners.
No.
The utility for buying it as a person in the street is you can win a chance to actually go to the award ceremony. I get that, but are they going to do the same thing next year? Are they going to have another release of 10,000 or 1,000 of these where you can win a trip? Or do the people who buy the NFT this year
have a recurring
a
reward?
Exactly. So it's a new industry, and like we've said, NFTs work really well for tickets, concert tickets, football matches, sporting events. It works really well for them. And for Ticketmaster will be all over this like a rash. But for this, is it a gimmick? I don't see any real world utility for it.
I mean, like you said, for the people who aren't the winners of the Ballon d'Or, it's going to be some sort of utility. Whether it be short term with one, like going to the reward ceremony once, or it be a recurring thing, we don't really know. Or it being an NFT project which maybe has, consistent releases with new, with each event.
Correct.
It could have some sort of long term, like longevity in terms of its utility. But for now, I mean, we don't really know. There's not very much information on.
And how many of these things are going to be produced? So you've got FIFA making them. You've got the Liquip making them. You're probably going to have football clubs making them. So Man United will make them. So you're going to end up with hundreds of thousands of these NFTs knocking around with no value and with no benefit. I mean, you had the playing cards concept. So every World Cup, when back in the 80s and 90s, you had a sticker book. So you had Italia 1990 sticker book.
That would be pretty cool.
It was. But it was one company who issued one set of stickers. that would go in one magazine, and you wanted to collect them all, and you trade with your friends. In America, they have the baseball cards, which they've had for 50, 60 years, which are worth a fortune. And you know, even nowadays, you've got the Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
They're physical goods, but they're unique.
Exactly. It would be the utility you could get out of that sort of project. It would be brilliant. Like with like football cards, same with Pokemon, all these things. You have them.
Yeah.
You know, each card you can have duplicates of the same card.
Yeah.
But there's like a number at the bottom which makes it unique.
Correct.
So it could be a new NFT for each card, which would allow you to trade. There could be, you know, a game extension, possibly. There could be, you know, a lot of utility for a project like that.
Yeah.
So, you know, it would be a good project.
Exactly, but this is where the centralized, decentralized thing comes along.
That's true.
If it was centralized, you could have one central business operating it.
Yeah.
But at the minute, it's fragmented and it's a bit of a mess. So, you know, NBA have got their own card collection, which they've turned into NFTs. It's just a bit of a mess. And I personally, yes, there's going to be success stories with people who own NFTs that are worth $200,000 or $300,000 each.
Yeah.
99% of people are going to lose money on NFTs.
It's a fluke most of the time.
And if you don't know what you're doing, do not buy NFTs. No. And I think I've said to you, we're going to be doing some NFT videos.
Keep hitting that mic.
Keep hitting the mic. We're going to do some NFT videos for some projects that we have researched, and we have, you know, we've doxed them, so we know who the leaders are and, you know, whatever else it might be. So we are going to do some NFT videos, but they're not for the general public.
No. Even if we have done the information, even if we do research and we do give valid information, it is always encouraged to do your own research into these projects or NFTs. And even with NFTs itself, you need to be quite up to date on these projects.
Exactly.
So even if we do give you all the information and it's all correct, and you know what's going on, you need to be keeping on up with it.
Exactly.
And as a beginner, it might be pretty hard to do that.
Because what happens is, you're a layman woman, and you come along, and there's an NFT project, and it's called Skittles. Okay.
Yeah.
And you come along and you see, it was $10 when it was launched, and it's now $90. Well, this has gone up 9x. I'm going to buy in because it's going to go to $800. And what happens is, like you just said with the flippers, you have people that mint.
Yeah.
Mint mean they create it. They then wait for you to come along as the victim or the mark to buy that NFT from them.
Assuming it's going to go up.
Correct. Yeah. And you end up with all these people that have bags of useless and worthless NFTs that they can't sell. So unless you know exactly what you're doing, and even if you've done all your research, it's still not a great idea to buy NFTs. You can't buy a tried and tested project unless you've got serious money.
And once it's tried and tested, it's already well known at that point.
Exactly.
And it's probably already too high for it to bother.
Exactly.
It's like the Wild West.
Yeah. So
you either get in early and have a chance for it to go up, and then it's worthwhile your time.
Yeah.
Or you get in early and you lose all your money.
Exactly.
Which is most likely probably happening. Or you know it's a trustworthy NFT project, but then it's probably when you already know it's a trustworthy NFT project, has a lot of information on it. At that point, it's already probably been in its early stages.
Exactly.
And it's gone up even more.
Exactly.
And then it's kind of you're not going to get as much profit out of it.
No, I mean if you look on Ethereum, for example, you have 3 or 4 names which are, they're not household, they're crypto household names.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got the Punks.
Yeah.
And you've
Bored
got
Ape.
Bored Ape.
Yeah.
Okay. On Solana, for example, the biggest one there would be the Gods.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the biggest one. That's worth, I don't know, 300, 400, 500 Sol. But for every DeGod or CryptoPunk, you have 1,000 failed projects that you can't get rid of.
Yeah.
And that's why it's never a good idea for a beginner to go anywhere near them.
No.
So, right, we are now, that's pretty much it. So we're on the outro. The only thing I wanted to add was I'm going to put some links to some Twitter accounts in the the video, in the description of the video. There was some good information on Around the Blockchain last night, which is a nightly stream that they get on 3 or 4 contestants who talk about different crypto topics. And last night was Mind Your Biz, and he spoke about something very interesting, which is rather than mining Bitcoin being a drain on the planet's resources, he was talking about moving mining equipment onto, for example, the oil platforms. And when they flare off the gas, that does, if they just release it into the atmosphere, it does a lot of damage. But if you flare it, if you set fire to it, you can use that energy to mine Bitcoin. So what you're actually doing is benefiting the planet, but to do so you have to move the equipment onto or near the source of energy, whether it be an oil platform or wherever else it might be. So he was a good vlogger that was on it last night, exactly. And the other one was Maren, and she uses astrology. Don't laugh, she's been right more times than she's been wrong. She uses astrology to predict the patterns of crypto. And if you, this is gospel. If you overlay full moons onto the stock market and onto the crypto market, you will be surprised at how often the market crashes on a full moon or rises on a full moon. I can't remember which. So we'll drop some in there. Again, they're only for entertainment purposes only. We don't expect you to sign up and take everything they say as gospel. But I think it's useful to see other people's opinions on things. And Mind Your Biz, he knows an awful lot about mining. He's been in the industry for a very long time. And Maren is just a different outlook on the industry.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's it really from my... And have you got anything else you want to add? I suppose we should go through the fact that we're going to be doing these on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
Oh yeah, true. Our times for the streams. Yeah. So streams. So like it might be. I think is it 12 Saturdays and then like 11 o'clock Wednesdays. I think we're doing streams.
Yeah, UK time. I think we'll be doing 11 o'clock on Saturday.
Yeah, and 10
on Wednesdays for the foreseeable future. And the shorts go out every day.
Yeah, we'll still do shorts and videos when we can, stuff, things like that. But
yeah, so please subscribe and like. Thanks for watching the video.
Thank you.